Right, moving on. The number of teenagers with summer jobs down by roughly a third since the late 70s. That didn't sit well with Charles Payne last week. Listen to him sounding off on that story.
Kids like saying they think McDonald's is beneath them. You know, I'm like, my man, you know, you're in 10th grade, you've got a 7th grade reading level, you know, McDonald's is beneath you. It's an interesting phenomenon, but it boils down to being lazy and complacent.
Whoa, let me give you a little context here. 1978, 72% of teens 16 to 19 had a summer job. Last year, 40% worked in the month of July. Here is Charlie Kirk. He's with us. He's the founder of Turning Point USA. All right, Charlie. Charles Payne used the expression that they're entitled, that summer jobs are beneath them, and that some are lazy. What do you make of that?
You know, I do agree with Charles to an extent. I prefer the term inactive. I think our generation, it's a learned behavior from our parents. We're told that work should be something that's optional or a necessary evil, when in reality, I believe work is a beautiful thing, and so do you, and most of your viewers believe that work is something that we as a country should appreciate. But my generation looks at work and they're saying, that's something that I might have to do later in my life. And unfortunately, less and less young people are going towards summer jobs, and it's a big cultural problem that we're seeing all across the country.
Well, let me hold on there a second, Charlie. Did you just say that this attitude was learned from their parents? That would be people like me. That would be the baby boom generation. You think that we taught that? I mean, maybe we did. I'm just asking. Do you think we did?
Absolutely. Maybe not necessarily intentionally, but maybe through unintentional parenting methods. Now, look, when a kid hits a home run, the parent is the first one to take credit. I taught him to swing like that. When a kid doesn't want to take a summer job, they're the last one. They say, oh, that's just a generational thing. It is a learned behavior. Now, of course, there are outliers. There are parents that do a great job. But we see an entire generation that is reluctant to want to get into work. That is something that concerns me. But also, there is a policy side to this. It's harder than ever to get an internship. It's harder than ever to get a job. And we're hearing calls from the Senate and the White House to raise the minimum wage. There's new regulations, and businesses are saying, hey, I'm done. I'm not going to hire any more younger workers. It's too expensive, and it's just not really worth my time.
You think this has a policy implication for the future? If so, spell it out.
Absolutely. So in the late 1970s, we saw an onslaught of new regulation targeted towards small businesses, new healthcare mandates, new healthcare initiatives over the last 35 years. And I think that has a policy prescription towards it. And we're seeing the Senate, Harry Reid, we must raise the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour. That's devastating to my generation. The minimum wage is a tax on labor. When you tax something, you get less of it, and we're going to get less unskilled people, young people getting into the workforce, and the entitlement generation keep on growing and growing and growing.
I find this fascinating. Charlie Kirk, come back and see us again real soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Up next, my take